Welcome back, Year 12. Your task was to build me a mitochondrion and then obviously label it. Now, firstly, you need to know the difference between mitochondria and mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is singular and mitochondria is plural. So what we have here is a mitochondrion. Now, let's have a look at how you would label it. It's really simple. It's effectively a structure that has a double membrane. So in red there, you've got the outer membrane, and in blue, you've got the inner membrane. So if I zoom out, you can see I've got a load of flags here and a load of words, and I've placed them in a particular order, and I'll talk you through that now. So like I said, the red is the outer membrane. So I'll take that flag and I'll put that into the correct location. And then I said that the blue was my inner membrane. Now you can see that the blue part is highly folded, and each of those folds is called a crista. So again, crista is singular and plural would be cristae, so with an E at the end. So there we go. If I take my inner membrane and I will put that in the blue part, and let's see, I'll put it just there. There we go. So there's my inner membrane, which is in blue. And remember, the crista is the highly folded part. So I'll just take one of the folds. This one here would be perfect, and then that shows you the crista. Brilliant. Okay, now you'll notice that there's actually some space between the outer and the inner membrane, and that space, that void there, is called the intermembranal space. So if I take this flag and I'll put that just there, and the final part then is our matrix, which is the fluid-filled area where my finger is here. That is full of fluid or jelly, and that is called our matrix. So I'll complete by putting it in there. So that there is a fully labeled diagram of a mitochondrion, and that's what you need to know, obviously, at this stage of your education. Now, what do I ask you to do then? Well, after that, I asked you to tell me where the different stages take place. So first of all, we've got glycolysis. Glycolysis happens in the cytoplasm. So actually outside of the mitochondrion. Imagine that this tablecloth was the inner part of the cell. So obviously the tablecloth is going to be our cytoplasm, and that's where glycolysis will take place. Now the products of glycolysis will then move through the outer membrane and into the matrix of a mitochondrion, which is where the next two stages, the link reaction and the Krebs cycle, take place. So they would be taking place inside the matrix. So I'll just pop that there. And then after that, we move on to oxidative phosphorylation. Now, oxidative phosphorylation is obviously you've got the electron transport chain. It's really important. And the electron transport chain will be embedded inside the inner membrane. So all of the proteins and all of the enzymes that are involved are actually embedded in the phospholipid bilayer that makes up the inner membrane. So if I take my inner membrane flag and then I'll pop that there, and remember that one of the folds, the reason it's highly folded to form these cristae, is to increase the surface area for oxidative phosphorylation to take place. So if I put those two flags there, that might hopefully make sense to you. Now, starting with glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle, and ending with oxidative phosphorylation, this is called aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, you can see now why the mitochondria is so important. Obviously, you start off in the cytoplasm, and then the products of glycolysis move inside, and then that's where a lot of your ATP will be made. Slightly different to anaerobic respiration, where with anaerobic respiration, the mitochondrion is not involved at all. So glycolysis is obviously the start of anaerobic respiration, but then it's a cycle, and then everything gets regenerated and you start again. So anaerobic respiration takes place in the cytoplasm, whereas aerobic respiration obviously starts in the cytoplasm with glycolysis, but then the products move into the mitochondrion where your link reaction, your Krebs cycle, and then oxidative phosphorylation will take place.